So that's what's cool about in manual is just being able to, you know, to have fun on areas like this and get nice and close to things. All right, Dad Random here. Man, it's been a while, but the only reason why it's been a while is our weather's been really crappy. I have done a few things since then. I've done a bunch of rate adjustments. I'm going to actually suggest some different rate profiles for you. I have three alternatives right here. I'm going to post these alternatives as we kind of go along, and I'm going to give you kind of the rundown, because most of the rate profiles that anybody is going to suggest for you, these are pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to show you the rates that I fly on my goggles when we get started in just a second. I'm going to fly a little bit with those rates. And the other thing I did with my AVATA, you can see I haven't put any protection on it. I like the weight to be as low as possible. I don't want anything to affect my aerodynamics and my props. I am going to do some prop experiments, so we do have some different props coming in that may make a difference. I don't really see anything improving what the three-bladed props already do. But one thing you do notice is if you look here, is I have a UV, I have a Freewell UV filter. So this time I'm not flying with an ND8. I'm just going to fly with a UV filter. Maybe give you a little bit of a difference in profile, a little bit of difference of results, flight results. So I'm going to talk about rates, and hopefully you'll see some visuals with that different filter. So, all right, Dad Random, let's get right back. Let's get flying, and then I'll walk you through the rates that I have, and then we'll go fly. All right, here we go. All right, so when we talk about rates, we're talking about manual stick rates. And here we go. Hey, we're ready to go. We just don't have the quad hooked up yet. So let's look at those really quick, and we'll record those. So I'm going to go ahead and, all right. So I am in my settings, and as you can see, I'm going to go down to control. From control, I'm going to go to remote controller, and then I'm going to go to gain and expo. If you look down below on my button customization, I'll be in manual mode, and I have my C mode in turtle mode. So C1, you'll notice the double press is turtle mode. I'll click gain and expo, and you'll notice that I have my center sensitivity at 160, 120, my max rate at 600. My pitch, max pitch is 500, and my max yaw rate is 500. And my expo stays on 0.65. And you'll notice that I've got my altitude limit button selected off. So if I compare those numbers to the ones that almost everybody is suggesting, they are pretty much the same. So here's profile 1, which is 190, 180, 50, okay, a little bit off, a little bit different, but the max rates are still the same. Their center sensitivity is lower than mine, okay, or actually it's higher than mine. Mine is a little bit higher. The only difference of really our two profiles are center sensitivity adjustments, a very slight expo adjustment. The first one, you'll see there's very little expo difference. So my flying style is going to be a lot like probably profile number 1, okay, with a little bit of adjustment, a little bit more rate speed. A lot of the real like intense flyers like those max rates much faster than that, so you're going to see a lot more, and the yaw rates tend to be low. Now the yaw sensitivity, or the max yaw, tends to be lower, but the center sensitivity for yaw is really reduced because we don't want to accidentally hit it and get shaky footage, okay? So I will post all three of these, And these are all safe rate profiles that you can try out, including mine. So there'll be 4 rate profiles, and those four rate profiles, will be posted. So you can use all 4 of those. Just pick one. Remember to first write down your base rates. So if you ever want to go back, make sure you write all this down. If you don't, you're going to get yourself in a situation where you're going to like, oh, I don't remember what my rates were. All right. So I always know what my rates are because I really like the ones I have, and I just keep, every time I get the controller, I connect it that way. So, all right. So I want you to check out the rate characteristics of my flying, and I want you to see what's happening. So that gives you kind of a point of reference. Okay. So let's go fly. Let's go ahead. I've got, we should be ready to go. Yeah. We don't have a whole lot. I don't have a max battery. I've got 3 though. So let's go. Let's fly. All right. So we're manual. All right. Let's go back out. I'm actually going to also do, I'm also going to go up into my, I'm going to turn on my, my goggle defog. There we go. It is hot today. It's nice, but it's a little bit hot. So, all right, so we're good there. We're behind me. There we go. So I'm going to take off. I'm going to basically take off from my right shoulder right there. There we go. There's manual. And I'm going to adjust my angle up to about 15. I like 15. 15 is good for a day where I'm just chilling. Somewhere around there. All right. Oops. There we go. I have to make sure. There we go. Just a nice, easy takeoff. If you are flying in manual and you're learning to fly manual, I'll also show you how to release your left stick, so you can have a little bit more control while you're flying. Now your left stick is adjustable, and there are 2 screws that you have to manually turn down. So you can see how slow I'm flying. On a day like today, I might want to crank up my my angle. Oops, that's the wrong direction. Let's go to about 20. There you go. You see how we're speeding up? And yeah, there we go. We got a good, and then, I always look for the highest point, and I make sure that I don't get below my sight line. And I'm used to going out to my right there. Today, I'm actually going to go out this way. I do have a wind to my back a little bit, so my adjustment, my angle adjustment, my pitch adjustment will help me deal with the wind on the way back. Now, I should get a notification if I do stay out too long, so I just got to remember my altitude. And this area here really helps me maintain the correct altitude. I won't get below my angle, my flight angle. It's actually a nice little rock area here to kind of do a little bit of fun, manual flight around. So that's what's cool about in manual is just being able to, to have fun on areas like this and get nice and close to things. There we go. Yeah, I can already see that. There's a nice. I'm not seeing any reflections in this filter. But so here we go. Here's an example of a roll in the max rate roll. Okay, and then there's your pitch, your roll and pitch. See that? If I want to crank around, I can do that. But yeah, you can see I've got a lot of I'm just kind of hovering. Okay, and so I really suggest that these rates are something that you suggest somewhere in this range. Now, your expo rate will be something you definitely want to play with. Okay, your expo will determine when those things kick in. Okay, and I like them to gradually kick in. I don't change my rates much, but this gives you much more cinematic flying. You're gonna definitely have to crank up the rates if you want to have a little bit more, you know, a little bit more fun, excitement, a little bit more. I never suggest too much excitement, but I'm a cinematic flyer, and if you want cinematic rates, these are perfect for cinematic rates. And I can go and retrace my steps. You can see that the AVATA 2 is not reacting like with a lot of spastic motions. You know, this is a really pretty spot to do this type of flying. So I'm gonna have to go back here pretty soon. We're basically at that point where I need to return. So there it is. Here's our last pass, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna follow this this really pretty line here. And I haven't been using the new Rocksteady. I haven't been using the new Rocksteady at all. And I'm returning. I do have somebody that just pulled up next to me. But yeah, so this is pretty much all gyro flow. You're okay, man. But so really flowy. Not a lot of, you know, and like I said, from now I'm basically coming back into the wind. You can see that. Okay, now this is another one of the rates that I really like to make sure I really check, is that rate right there. You see how low that is? Some people like to speed that up. That is where, so if you want to do a power, like a power loop, okay? A power loop, so you'll hammer up, you'll bring it up, and then you'll bring it down, and then but you'll notice that at the bottom of that loop, you'll notice that you have to really control your throttle. And at 30%, you don't want to do power loops, guys. Do not do power loops at 30%. So you can see that you get very close to the ground. I almost had to hike there. So yeah, so this is a really good set of rates. And you know, so check all three. I actually suggest you try all three. You fly all three rate sets because everyone offers a slightly different approach to what it can do and what your habits are. So if your habits are, you know, aren't really smooth yet, you want to make sure those rate adjustments are slow as well, okay? Because, you know, you can get yourself in trouble, okay? If you don't snap around. I like a snappy turn, you notice that? Okay. You know, that's your snappy turn right there. Not too snappy, right? That's to me is pretty snappy. Because anything more snappy than that is it's not very good. I mean, unless you're doing some kind of, you know, unless you're trying to avoid something. Okay, if you're trying to avoid trouble, that kind of thing. All right, let's move it in. I'd like to bring these batteries down a little bit. It says it's giving me a low battery. And I also suggest that you learn to use the manual setting for the battery. So just like that, get in manual, make a nice, smooth, you know, uneventful landing. And like I said, it'll make your life way better. And in the wind, it's a little bit challenging. So there it is right there. Motor stopped. All right. I love the AVATA too. It's so much fun. But it does have, we do have limitations. And to me, the biggest limitation is in that power loop, you really have to have your rates set quite quickly. The rates that I have are not good for that type of flying. My rates are set for very smooth cinematic work. So I suggest that you look, like I said, in those rates. And for example, in this particular rate right here, we're basically in a 220, 180, a little bit higher than me, where I'm closer to more like 160. Okay. You'll notice that the max rates of these are much lower. So this one's going to be way more cinematic. This one is going to be more active flippy floppy. This, you can see that this rate here is very close to this rate up here. This one's the only one that's a little bit different. Plus mine is a little bit more of an adjustment from there. So check those out. I fly cinematic rates. I'm not going to do fancy hybrid rates that are going to get myself in trouble, because I try to stay out of trouble. That's my rule of flying. It's staying out. So let's just look at those rates really quick. Let me just go ahead and let's just really go quickly to, let's go back to the rates there. Let's go back down to settings, go to control, go to remote controller, gain expo. So 160, 160, 120, 600, 500, 500. I might even add my pitch. I might even bring my pitch up another 100. And you want that to really be in control. And like I said, I really like the 65 Expo, which is not a lot of really big change from what you're going to be used to when you're flying in sport mode. So check it out. There's a lot of really good videos that define those rates and what they do. I just suggest that you make short, really small adjustments, and you write down each adjustment. Oops. As you're exploring those, okay? So just like I said, little baby steps. It's really important when you're learning manual that you stay in the baby step mode and keep it as close to cinematic as possible. That's wow. And then yeah, you really need to keep that keep the fan on a little bit. Makes a little bit of noise. You hear that? Here, I guess there's my here's mine. All right. Yeah, I do have people visiting. Check this out. There we go. Hey, guys, I'm actually vlogging with my goggles 3. I can talk to you. The only problem I have is a little bit of depth perception. But yeah, if you're wondering what the goggles like, now to activate those, it's a hard tap, okay? Hard tap, hard tap. Okay, so there we go, we're back on. But yeah, that's how you see that there's a red car here, there's a gray car over there, and we've got there's a white and a green. You could easily tell colors, no problem. Can I work with my gear? Let's see. I got everything here. Yeah, I was able to grab the drone, and I can take my control sticks off. I'm doing this, guys, with the basically with the goggle vision. I call it goggle vision. I really do like this. These guys there's such a huge advantage to be able to see what's going on. And yeah, it's windy, guys. The wind just doesn't want to quit. It is spring, so there we go. We got to turn that off. It's like I got like supervision, you know. I'd like a wider field, maybe. I don't know if one day maybe they'll help let us change the field of view. But yeah, can I put my gear away with these on? Yeah, I guess I can. There's that. Here's my rate sheet right there. There's all my rates. So can you function in a goggle world? You absolutely can. If you're still on the fence, I really think that literally on the fence, I'm dang near the fence. But if you're on the fence with this, I really don't see, I'm having trouble with this new gimbal cover. It's just, it's a little bit, there we go, a little bit perplexing. There we go. It's just me. It's not the gimbal cover. But yeah, could you fly with that little screen right there? I don't think so. And like I said, I think we need a little wider field of view, just a little bit more. It does give you tunnel vision. So one of the things I did want to show you guys after we looked at The rate profile is actually, can you vlog with the goggles on? Yeah, you can. You sure can. Yeah, I don't see why you can't. But yeah, it is something that we do. I don't know. You see, I had to hold my head up like this to see everything. You do have to tilt your head back a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, do these work? Yeah. Do I think they enhance your situational awareness? Absolutely, they do. I mean, I am in complete. I'm in complete command of the area. I know exactly who's around me, where my danger is. I can see the trails. I probably could walk with these things on too, which would be really fun to look at. But all right, Dad Random, Goggles 3, AVATA 2. We've got a UV filter, which really looked good. And then rate profiles. Guys, keep them simple. Do not make big jumps in changes in your rate profile. Keep it incremental. Just bump them up a little bit, especially the max rates. So if I could basically sum this up, bump up your max rates, change your expo by just maybe 10%, 10 or 15%. Okay, that'll it'll change your stick profile and give you a little bit more snap. And then bring your yaw down. Just make sure your yaw is in control. You don't want your stick to engage too quickly when you're in a yaw movement. Not everybody likes that. Only cinematic pilots like that. Pilots that fly acro for fun, they don't like that. Their yaw rates will actually be increased by like their other stick rates. They like them very much more balanced. So, but everybody's different. If you are flying manual, yes, you can do it. Start out slow. I think I need to do a manual video too, so we'll get there. But yeah, all right, Dad Random, vlogging with the Goggles 3. Yes, you can vlog with them. Let's see if I can turn off my camera. I can. There we go, right there. Maybe I should turn off the goggles first. I don't know.